A kind of Shakespearean twist. One servant takes on the garb, pretends she's an aristocrat. We'll just kind of say that. And suddenly, this servant who pretends to be wealthy is plunged into this opulent Lord of the Flies story. Are you trying to say something here about pandemic and social class?
Oh, certainly. Yes, I would say that class disparity is one of the foundational themes. What, I feel like the pandemic did in 2020, 2021, and continues to show the extremely wide chasm between the haves and the have-nots. And it sort of, puts all of that under a not so attractive microscope. And so, yes, the show that sort of initially it begins playing with those levels and different levels of status, it by the end of the season hopefully feels like it's sort of skewering some of those things and showing how flimsy the labels that we put on ourselves are, especially when it comes to class, status, money, nobility, all of those things.
There are some critics who reviewed the series who say, the problem is there's not really a good guy here. The characters are largely flawed. How do you respond to that?
You know what? I appreciate all the reviews, the great ones and the ones that have criticism, certainly, because the show is loud. It's not for everybody, but I don't like to sit down and watch television where I always know who's good and I always know who's bad. I just don't believe in that. I don't believe that any one person is all good or all bad. And I was lucky to sort of learn how to make television from Jenji Kohan, who executive produced this show, and that's a big tenet of the shows that she makes, that there are no good guys, there are no villains, that everybody has complexity to them, and hopefully that feels more true to life.
And she made Orange Is the New Black. Yeah, that show?
Yes. And if people sit down and watch the show and start to root for somebody and end up not liking that person, I don't mind people feeling uncomfortable watching my shows.
I mean, as you say, the experience, the show, it is loud, it is bawdy, it is colorful. I mean, the costumes and everything. For someone who says, what should I watch this for? What show is this going to ask me? What do you tell that person who might be tempted to click and say, I'm going to watch?
Oh, I mean, I think above all, we made this show to be something that kind of whisks you away and surprises you and makes you laugh and makes you think. And so the overwhelming response.
Piper Charitable Trust, working to advance children's vision health through Eyes on Learning. You can talk with your child's doctor about vision screening. Children don't know what they can't see. More at eyesonlearning.org.
Watch out for debris in the roadway I-10 eastbound near the ramp to the westbound Loop 202.
Anyone watch the DNC last night? Bueller?
He's sick.
If you didn't, let me catch you up. People quoted rappers.
In the words of the great American poet, Nelly, it's getting hot in here.
People quoted ballers.
In the words of the great Steph Curry, we can tell Donald Trump, night night.
And there were way too many people.
New York's motto is Excelsior, ever upward. And Trump takes us ever downward.
What there wasn't a lot of was policy. Not a lot of talk about what kind of president Kamala Harris will be. So, on Today Explained, we're going to hear from someone who has some strong opinions on what kind of president Kamala Harris should be. And he thinks she should be more of an Obama than a Biden.
I've made a lot of mistakes in my career.
I'm Steve Brown, U.S.